United against immigration and terrorism was the theme of the latest international conference held by the Alliance for Peace and Freedom. On November the 12th, about 400 participants attended this excellent event in the Italian capital, Rome. The theme called attention to these related and persistent problems which clearly concern all European states. So it was no surprise that guests came from many countries all over the continent. One participant put the basic necessity of European networking to the point.
Well, I think it's a very nice initiative and very important regarding the aspects of the future of our European homelands. And I think it's a very nice to see all these European people coming together. Me, myself, coming from Sweden and meeting nationalists from all over Europe. Very rewarding to meet people, discuss. We talk about the core issues about our future. It's very, very important and a very nice arrangement. So I hope to come to see more of this kind of arrangements.
APF is a Europe-wide coalition of political parties that exists to provide a voice and an ideological pole of attraction for nationalist activists. APF President Roberto Fiore summarized the mission of the APF as follows.
I would say that the main element for the Alliance for Peace and Freedom is that it can act strategically. It can have the map of Europe, and according to the necessity and according to the possibility, it can intervene anywhere. And this is something totally new in patriotic politics. We have the luck to have discovered an instrument, which is the European political party, that enables us to act quickly, fast, in a situation where we think it's possible to act. And in that sense, I think we are the only one who have understood the possibility and the potential of this structure.
The General Secretary of the APF is Stefan Jacobsson from Sweden. By speaking about the responsibilities of his office, he is able to give an interesting insight to the inner life of the organization.
So this year we opened a headquarters in the heart of Brussels for the Alliance for Peace and Freedom. And I think this has been a very important step for us to have a base to work from, to organize meetings and events, to have a place where we can discuss important topics and to meet with everybody. So this has been a very important step this year to have this room or this office. And this has provided us with possibilities that we didn't have before. And now, throughout the year, we've been organizing these conferences throughout Europe, mostly with topics about the current events in the world, especially about the situation in Syria that has been very current this year. And I think this has put us in the map as a big global player in politics. And it has also been very important for us because we are still a very young party, and we need to get the word out that we exist and what we do, and the conferences has been a great opportunity because of this, and we have recruited a lot of members because of it, because not only parties can be a member of Alliance for Peace and Freedom, also individuals are welcomed as member, and we are always searching for new people that want to come and work with us, that share our vision of a Europe of free nations, and with individuals with different talents, we think that we can accomplish something truly great here.
Also a member of the APF is German member of the European Parliament, Udo Voigt, who explains some very practical reasons for cooperation between European nationalists.
Nun, seit 2014 bin ich Mitglied des Europaparlamentes, und hier lernt man eine Menge Abgeordnete, nationale Abgeordnete kennen, die nicht in Fraktionen organisiert sind. Und wie ja seit meinem Buch bekannt ist und seit meiner Tätigkeit als Parteivorsitzender, habe ich mich immer für Projekte eingesetzt, nationale Kräfte zu bündeln und zu sammeln. Und das habe ich natürlich auch im Europaparlament getan. Im Jahre 2015 begann der Generalangriff auf Europa. Und dieser Generalangriff auf Europa bedeutete, Millionen von Fremden auf diesen Kontinent zu bringen, damit sich hier eine One-World-Gesellschaft, eine multikulturelle Gesellschaft entwickelt. Und ich setze darauf, dass einzelne Völker das nicht mehr abwehren können. Denn was wir jetzt brauchen, das ist die Gemeinschaft, das sind die Völker Europas, die zusammenstehen müssen. Wir können heute nicht mehr die Schlachten von gestern schlagen. Wir brauchen heute nicht mehr darüber zu debattieren, was vor dem Ersten oder Zweiten Weltkrieg welche Grenzen gewesen sind. Wenn wir in den nächsten 10 bis 15 Jahren den Masseneinsturm nicht bewältigen, dann werden unsere Völker verlieren. Fremde Völker werden diesen Kontinent besiegen und beherrschen. Und aus diesem Grund war es mir ein persönliches Anliegen und ich habe viele Mitstreiter gefunden, die hier mit daran gearbeitet haben, die Alliance for Peace and Freedom zu gründen und mit Bewegung, mit Leben zu erfüllen.
Through a multitude of activities, the APF has staked its claim to be the counterpole to the immigration and free trade policies of the liberal elite. The APF has from the very beginning stood firm for better relations with Russia. While this is now going mainstream thanks to the election of Donald Trump and the advance of anti-NATO parties in Central and Eastern Europe, the APF was working on this way back in March 2015, when we attended an important conference in St. Petersburg. Furthermore, the APF strives to correct the manipulative and dishonest mainstream European view of Syria. During a number of high-level visits to Syria, APF representatives have been able to see for themselves the reality of the situation there. APF Vice Chairman Nick Griffin from Great Britain is an experienced nationalist leader, well equipped to help plan APF activities.
Well, of course, from a technical point of view, simply for the alliance to be recognised by the European Parliament, although they didn't want to, is a very important step. But the things which excite me and I think really show what we're trying to do, there's three very important things. First of all, the fact that we've already been able to bring together so many really genuine, sincere, principled radical nationalists from all over Europe, so that when a new party or relatively new party such as our Slovak comrades are looking for partners on a European level, we're their natural choice. And to achieve that in just 1.5 years is something I think is very, very important. And then I would say that our involvement in Russia is very, very important. Perhaps after the Trump victory, perhaps less important than it was. But when the whole of the American establishment was really working very hard to push Europe into war with Russia, then just to have any human and political connection with people in Russia. So we're saying we can talk, we may have differences, we don't even know perhaps, but there's no reason for hostility and fighting and suspicion. So that was very, very important. Whether it will be so important in the future, we've really no idea of finding out, because Trump's victory potentially has turned the world upside down, or it may in the end turn out to be a damp squib. We'll find out in due course. And then the other very important thing the Alliance has done, I think, is to establish this very firm connection in Syria with people like Lahoud, with the Syrian Social National Party, with the Ba'ath Party there as well. Very, very important. Syria genuinely has been the point at which the New World Order, up until it met Syria, it had succeeded in everything they tried to do. And we did more in the first 6 months unfunded than basically all the other parties funded by the European Union have done in all their time. So whatever happens, we will carry on. So concretely, I think that there's a number of projects have sort of come and gone, they're almost there, to create some kind of common media hub. Our Slovakian friend mentioned it briefly in his speech. Some kind of really effective common media hub between us all, I think would be very, very valuable. And I would like to see us get perhaps also involving our foundation, Europa Terra Nostra, get really heavily into educating young nationalists in a combination of the ideas of radical nationalism along with really modern techniques to recruit and put these ideas into practice. And I think that investing in the next generation really is the most exciting thing and important thing that we've got to do.
Also at the Rome conference was the very successful People's Party Our Slovakia. Its leader, member of the National Assembly Marian Kotiepa, confirmed the party's official affiliation to the APF. The party's vice chairman, member of the parliament Martin Belusky, gave an interesting survey of the workings and progress of his party.
I would like to mention the most important parts of our political program. Firstly, we want to leave the European Union. Slovak influence in the European Union is insignificant. Slovak deputies in the European Parliament represents only 1.7%. It means that we cannot change anything, but we must accept everything that the other decide. The dictate from Brussels is destroying Slovakia. We are like a colony without own industry, without own justice. The love of European Union is superior to the love of Slovakia. We also want to reintroduce our own currency, Slovak crown instead of euro. Formerly, we have had our Slovak crown.
Through all the speeches, it became clear that nationalists in Europe are standing together in the front line, possess powerful and attractive visions for the future, and are preparing to take on responsibility for their peoples and the continent. In addressing the questions immigration and terrorism, the conference did not lose sight of the international geopolitical situation, which was very ably emphasized by the Syrian speaker Lahut Lado.
The heroic winning of Syria against the whole world fighting there, on all levels, military, information, sanctions, diplomatic, and also resistance of own population. This is coming for something. It's coming from the nationalism that we have there in Syria and the love of the country they have in there and the resistance that we have seen so far. How they were giving this doctrine of being independent, free, and master of your own decision. This is where and how we have been given the doctrine in Syria.
The APF-Conference in Rome sent a signal to Europe and the whole world. We are part of a change, of a rising new force. After Brexit and the trend-setting election of Donald Trump in the USA, real political change in Europe is overdue and on its way.